where I'm at. Good, go, come on. Come on. A lot of you guys would be like this. So now see this? Ooh, that one's skimming my nose. Up. Alright, so I want you to get your fighting stance, right leg back. That's it, right? You go your normal left. Here, scoot over here a little bit, please. No, come face that way. Alright, so here you go. Hands here. Now I want you to do is just a basic back fist reverse punch. Instead of just here to here, I want you to lean a little bit. Drop your chin, shoulders here. Keep your hands kind of loose. 1, 2. Go. Now I want you to work on pivoting. Instead of punching here, second punch here. So you have to adjust accordingly. Go ahead. Punch 1, 2. So 1, look at me here, 1, turn 2. That's it. Keep working that. 1, 2. Here we go. Switch sides. Alright, go. 1, 2. Go. Pivot that foot a little harder. This is what I call the hard pivot. Then move it a little more. So you want to come off that line. Instead of just staying here. Nope. I just pivot so hard that the foot shoots over a little bit. And make sure you turn that one accordingly. 1, 2. So you're shifting that knee in there. Okay, do that again. Keep going. Keep going. So I want you to back fist here. Punch over here. Come on, go. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Fast.
Too far to step. Go. Come on. Go. 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 Pivot that foot. Pivot that foot. Go. So you're already just starting to adjust and adjust. I did 1, 2. You're rolling out. You're changing an angle. This is slight stuff, man. Slight movement. So in sparring, fighting, whatever, we still use our Tracy's techniques. Like I always said before, the worst thing in Kempo is the techniques. The best thing in Kempo are the techniques. I told you guys that
I heard that Wednesday.
But the thing is how you perceive them. If we just say, okay, I'm going to do the techniques the way I was originally taught, you cannot stay there. That's harmful for you to do. It's the ABCs. You can't sit there and go in college level and write at an elementary school level. You're not going to get good grades on that, are you? Well, fighting, you can't just simply go off of the basics the way we were done that way, keeping that box. But the basics are still there. You're going to use them. But you have to open your mind about timing and other things. That's why I say these techniques are the bones of the system, the foundation of the system. But we got to build everything else around that.
Well, the second move we ever learned is Chinese sword. You work with us on Wednesday.
Oh, we did a whole half hour just about Chinese sword.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Technique, attacking the wall. Do you remember that one?
I don't.
Okay, someone's throwing a punch. You're going to block out, reverse punch. Hammer fist. You push your hips, side thrust kick. Okay, so now what was I having you do? 1, 2. So we don't have to step all the way around. We're here to here. But here, you see I'm going here? Same thing. So go southpaw the way you like. It'll make sense to that technique. So instead of an outward block, step around punch, right? So here's what you would be doing here. Okay, don't step that far now, right? You don't need to. At this point, this becomes a block punch. Either one. It could be a block, it could be a punch. Just like I did that one technique right here, turning the handle, it's a block punch. So here now, go 1, 2, change that angle. There's that reverse punch. It goes to the body or the head, I don't care. The technique goes to the body. You throw the punch, I'm slipping and hiding underneath. It becomes surprise. that's what we do, is make the stuff seamless by hiding things. Yeah, but you're shifting off and changing the angles. Our techniques back that up, and that's why I say you can use this for fighting. A lot of people say you can't use Kempo when fighting or sparring. You can't use it in sparring. It's almost the only thing I learned up to a certain point, right? But stand-up fighting, this is pretty much mostly of what I learned, is traces. I did a little bit of other stuff, but my foundation was here already when I started dabbling. So everything I was doing up to the point of like 3rd degree black belt was this. So all them years of me doing fighting was this. Then I learned I had to tweak it when I went into full contact. I had to tweak the way I was doing it because I was kind of doing the generic movements because of point fighting. So as you see, you got the deal here, you can do the footwork to get out of the way.
Well, that's a wicked shot to the ribs too when you're exposed.
So now the leaning with the back fist. Get in a fighting stance. All right, here we go. So you're going to punch at me, right? This could become a smothering. Then there's that punch. I don't have to do that big step all the time. Sometimes I can just go directly and turn. If you start practicing this, you can change your angles when needed. I wouldn't say that's the only way to go. No, that's kind of foolish. But get your guard up. Say your hands are out like this. A lot of guys would be like this. So now see this? Now I can do that same idea. There's a technique that I do in point fighting. I call it shooting fist. Same thing basically as I come around 1, 2. So if I'm here, I want to shoot this into that strike or over the top of the head. Then I come in. So get your guard up. So I'm shooting 1 and 2. Now I'm over here. Where are you at? You're turning around. So if I didn't get the point, they didn't say break yet. You're going like this to try to catch up.
I'm toast.
And then I go. Bam. That's like our Tracy's techniques. How many times did we do a technique? Bam, bam, bam. Now we cross stuff out, and these guys are like, this stuff is brilliant in a way. It's set up brilliant. All the answers that we have are in our techniques. You know, everything you're looking for in Kempo are in the techniques. The katas are what? Built of the techniques. We didn't have the katas or forms, as a lot of other guys would call it, until then. But you see how I'm doing this disruption. This is what Ed Parker started calling backup mass. Because get your guard up. Because now I'm backing up my strike or my block with my body mass. Now I'm throwing it forward, coming straight in. Why don't the Tracy's guys speak like that? The only thing I can think of is Tracy's left out Ed Parker before he came up with those terms. Because Al Tracy and his brothers would teach pretty much everything that they were taught by Ed Parker. So what you see that don't match up in American Kempo to Tracy's, pretty much Ed Parker evolved into the way he wanted the system after they left. That's it. You know, a lot of people were like so confused by this. That, you know, there was animosity between them for some years. Then they kind of squashed it. But a lot of the guys are still kind of fighting back and forth, which is stupid. It's still Kempo. We still got the same, you know, guy that made the Kempo famous in America, right? He changed and molded it to what we see today. The Tracy's system is where he was molding it from different influences that he was getting. And then when they left too, he started developing it into the American Kempo. So he come up with terminology. The terminology sometimes is easier to think about this stuff and remember.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, put your body weight into it. So that's what the nice thing about that, but we don't need to have the terminology to really deliver the movement. But the names of the techniques, you don't need the names of techniques to deliver the techniques. But it's easier to remember if you have a name for it.
Well, I know we're getting to a point even with class where if you're here and you punch someone here, the move is going to be effective versus a stretch here. If you're grabbing somebody here or in, it completely changes the technique that you're going to, and those things are starting to resonate thanks to, you know, you guys teaching that stuff.
So the boxing, they do the strikes and they back up their strikes with their body. They just don't call it backup mass. So it's not like it's new just to Kempo. all sports. So you play baseball, you don't just swing the bat with your hands. You put a little body weight into it, right? Boom! You're throwing your foot into it to put more weight forward, and it really springs that ball faster. So there's science to all this stuff that we're doing. Is that pretty good on there?
Yeah.
So think about 1, 2. Now throw a kick to it. There's your meltdown. Yeah, now throw the roundhouse. Okay, good. Now see it here, front, right? Watch this. 1, 2. So now this is what they call a question mark kick a lot of times. Is basically bringing it up, look like the front kick, wham. Or make it look like a roundhouse in terms of a front kick. But this stuff should be seamless. When you're moving, it should be shifting the weight into stuff. A lot of the strength of Kempo is once we already get flowing in movement. A lot of people call it slap bar, we're slapping around. But by doing this, you're really gaining a lot. And you don't have to hit every strike power. Because as long as you start touching a guy, that power shot's going to come out eventually. Boom, 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 boom. It's over. But the body reacts funky, man, when you start hitting a certain way. Boom, 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 bam. That last one might not have been that hard. But just, can, you know, put together, it's just, oof. It hurts. You felt that when you sparred?
Yeah, I sure have.
Tap, 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 tap. You're like, oh, that one hurt. And I didn't hit you that hard. Because I hit you in the right place. But that's all the techniques back that stuff up. So that's your lesson today, is use the stuff that you have in your techniques.
Okay, that's...
You know, like here, throw a punch at me, right? I could block here. So now I'm dropping my weight and going forward. So at Parker had the theory, he called it marriage of gravity, but we're dropping our weight into it. Thunder and hammers. Okay, so from this point, with point fight even, I can't do the power strikes as much by loose hit like I've been teaching you with the gloves on. So now you have to actually hit and throw. You have to really rely on your body mass here. Boom, dropping the weight. You need to kind of rely on some of those to get a little more power. But from here, through a punch, I'm here. So I'm going forward in, then I can deliver there. So now instead of the back fist, you can slam down, punch. So I'm here, go ahead, do that. Slam down. Come on down. Slam down as I, there, even if I have my guard up. But don't drop it, drop it. Just drop your weight now. Like we did in Chinese sword the other day. Drop your weight, now punch me. Now if I punch you, drop it, like this. So now you can do the same, leaning forward a little bit. You can lunge with it. But you're point fighting, it's not going to be full contact.
Today, and even back to Wednesday with our group class, one of the things that Sensei Roger has been really enforcing with us and teaching us is how to change the height angle. And as we are working through sparring today, one of the things that you're relearning is a basic technique called Chinese sword. But by changing the arm angle or changing the height angle and driving down and extending, you have the ability to manipulate your opponent a little bit. When we learned Chinese sword, it was just simply this, and now it's really using your body to bring down the height angle and to be able to be more effective. When you learn something a certain way, it takes a little bit of time for you to relearn. So it's a work in process, but the way that we're learning some of these our basic foundation techniques, it's helping us improve. So Roger does a great job of taking that base and then making some subtle adjustments to make us more effective. And I can see it in some of the trainings that we're doing right now.
We're going to take a brief moment from the video. I just want to say, if you didn't pick up my book, Lessons from the Cage yet, what are you waiting for? You can get it in paperback or you can get it in ebook. Where can you get this? That is a wonderful question. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it on the Apple Books. You can even buy it in Barnes & Noble. I've even seen it on the Target app and the Walmart app. But check it out. Just Google it if you don't know. Lessons from the Cage, Life Lessons from MMA, Roger Grimes. Now back to the program. Alright, so what we're going to do is just spar around, and I want you to focus on just getting in my space a little bit and then out. Don't stay there, because then I'll sit there and box around with you.
Okay.
But I want you to think, move, try to change your angles I'm going to work with you. I'm not going to press you so much yet. Okay, everything. Hands, feet. Here we go. Ooh, that one's skimming my nose. Nice. Follow up. Don't just pick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
get out.
Happy with getting one in and.
Yeah, don't stop there. Because if you're point fighting, what if they didn't see that and you stopped and you got hit? Guy don't care if you touch them if they don't call it. You gotta close that distance a little bit. Back shot, don't go for that.
Oh, sorry.
You'll lose a point.
Okay.
Press me a little bit, Greg. Get in, come on, get in. Smoother. Just get in. Close that distance. Don't worry about me hitting you right now because I'm not doing that. There you go, come on. Follow up. 1, 2, get out. Boom. 1, 2, 3, get out. Alright, now I am going to come at you a little bit, press you a little bit. Try to do that movement and all that. I want to be like kind of an example of trying to move seamless.
Okay.
And if I can't move seamless, remember I was talking about, I get you to fall for something. Woohoo, over here, bang. Or hide strikes. But that's how it looks like. It's, oh, where did this come from? All right, here we go. Right. See, I shift, bang. That's the thing is I'm shifting the weight. You went to hit my head.
Yeah, you were
I was already there. There you go. Good. Nice block on that.
Yeah, you had it. See, I'm looking for something, and I think you knew I was, and you completely.
Don't look. Don't look. Every time I keep in motion, you didn't notice all of a sudden, boom, I'm there. Keep in motion. Keep in motion, Greg. Move around. Move your hands. There you go. Move your hands. Move your hands. Boom. Right there. Ah. Ah. Here we go. Here we go. Ah. Gotta make the noises. It's gonna get crazy. Alright, here we go. Fight. Come on, come at me, Greg. Come on, Greg. You're too far away. That's it, come on. You gotta get in my space. So you gotta back up. Oh, you strike. You gotta get in there, man. Shoot. I got one in, but you got out. I couldn't be there for nothing else. So even though you took one, I'm over here and you shifted. I was like, oh, okay. You could have came back at me. Alright, here you go. Listen up, listen up. Listen up.
Man, I saw that just.
I know, being nice too.
No, I know.
There we go, I hit you with that. That's what I use in tournaments a lot. I'll shuffle in, I'll come around, they move, I hit them with this. If I don't hit them with that, I'll hit them with this, or I'll hit them with both.
Well, you got all three, I think.
I did. Or no, I missed on the kick, but I got the hands. Timing. I waited, you wait for it. Oh.
Yeah, you just waited for me to overextend.
So now that's me knowing distance too. And knowing when you're going, I give you an opening when I drop my hands. A lot of people say, don't put your hands down. Don't turn your back. Watch this. Point fighting, what do you have?
Yeah.
My head, go for it. What do you have? My head.
I'm
contact. Head, you can't hit the back.
Well, I know you're lethal with your leg, well, I mean everywhere, but I'm still skittish coming in tight on you because I know that leg could come out of nowhere.
So I want to be slower on you.
No, that's okay. I
want you to close that distance. I want you to work and get in. Get in past me. Go, come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. Close that in. If you do that without fear, see,
sorry.
I'm good. You're gonna get hit. You can get hit.
I didn't mean to get you.
All right, come on. Close that distance. Come on. Yeah, you know I'm better actually when you're coming at me. So I'm trying not to hit you every time you come in.
I guess it's good to know.
I don't want you to have that fear.
I know it's good to know your opponent. God, how see? I had this much room.
Yeah, like this came out, you put your guard down pretty much. You're just like, oh, he's not doing nothing. Like feint. Feint, boom. So I'm not committing all my weight. So I go 1, 2.
Okay, can you dissect that really quick? What I did, not to go slow-mo replay, but I came in.
Yeah.
And so I came in with the jab, and you.
Well, here's what I did is after you did anything, you stood there for a moment,
okay.
Your guard up. And 1, 2, you picked up your hands, then it came bang. So you put down your guard here, and then you said, oh, let me get my guard up. 1, so I was like 1, 2, boom.
And you knew I was going to do that.
So keep your hands here. 1, 2, and go up high.
Sparring when when you know your opponent, and they are really, superior to you, it changes your approach. And what I have to really worry about on my end is I can't worry that, Roger is a multi-degree black belt who's had multiple fights and really can kick from any angle. I have to look past that. So I've got to get over, it's not a fear, but it's just, staying in my comfort zone so that I'm not exposing myself. But even when I do, even when I think I got a situation where I get a decent shot in, I know that I'm setting myself up for, one of his patented kicks or, some move that he'll hit me with 2 when I hit him with 1. So right now I think I'm losing 35-1, and he's really taking it easy on me right now. But it's completely different when you're going up against somebody that has, lethal arms and lethal legs. So I've just got to, at the point I'm being redundant, I have to get past that and get in. I'm reluctant to get in because I know that he can still use the lower half. What I just marvel at is the strikes you have on me are clean. They're just, and again, you could probably 50 kicks making them clean, but they're just so, it's.
Well, here's the thing is, I have years of experience, but you underestimate yourself because of my experience sometimes. So don't let that in there. Wash that out. If I hit you, I'm not hurting you.
No, I know.
Right? I'm not hurting you. So let's go. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of learn to brush with it. I still come at you because if you don't see that speed,
oh, no doubt,
you won't be ready for it when someone does come at you.
Well, the other thing that I'm worried about is it is by accident hitting you in the face. I know you can take it, but I don't. I'm so raw in terms of precision.
You have mostly helmet, a little bit of face. So here we go. Let's do some sparring. I'm gonna come at you a little bit. You like, I stop for a moment. So I said I'm gonna come at you a little bit. All of a sudden that gets in your head automatically. You tense up. Loosen up. Come on, loosen up. Loosey goose, loosey goose. Here we go. Fight. Ooh, nice slip out of there, man. I thought I had you eating. I just touched your glove. You just moved out. That's what I'm talking about. That slipping around. That's it. Stay loose. I'm not the best fighter out there, dude. I'm probably the best fighter you sparred because am I the only one you ever sparred?
Yes, but...
So I'm the worst fighter you sparred. Both.
You're going against Ali in your first fights.
Yeah. I can be a bit sloppy sometimes. I play around with this stuff. Trust me, YouTube has told me so. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes I play around too much, and then I get sloppy and it starts slipping. See, YouTube's never seen me really throw down with something hard, because we never recorded those.
Oh,
As you dang it, I missed that chord. Remember the guitars? You gotta roll along, man. The song's still playing.
I saw
the song's still playing. Dang later. Later you go, man, they really hit me. Don't do it while we're here, just walk around. Walk around. Don't put your hands here. They're not ready to fire.
Okay.
Get your hands ready to fire. Aim them forward a little bit. Boom. Aim them forward a little bit. Come on, get moving. Move at me. Move at me. Strike at me. I've changed my angle. Means you have to change your strike. There's no more jabbing there, is there?
No, I have to.
There's a back fist. All right, watch this here. Step over there. Coming at me though. All right, so stay here. Come on, step in slow. I got the jab. It could be there, right? Step around me. And back fist. All right, step over here. My straight punch still. So I got a range. Now really come around me here. Here's a back fist. Let's do that when it gets to this. See, if I'm here, really come around. There's that. If I'm here, go back over here. All right, slip around. Bang. There's a back fist there even. So wherever you're at, you don't have to sit there and move and follow with the guy. Sometimes they move, you just hit right where they're at.
Okay.
But that's position recognition. That's a Kempo basic. A Kempo theory is position recognition. Recognize where you're at. Recognize what you can throw. Recognize where your opponent is. Recognize what they are throwing, but also recognizing the possibility of what else. So as you go, okay, he's throwing this, I recognize that block, but I didn't recognize that punch is going to come wrong, and that's the one that knocked me out.
Ah.
Pretty good on that?
Yes, sir.
How's that feel?
It's. I know they're baby steps, but I see a little bit of improvement as we're talking. Every time we spar, I come with a plan, at least some semblance of a plan, and you work on some things prior so that I can try to incorporate that. But then when things happen, the blank hits the fan. I sometimes lose that, so I have to really stay focused on that. And you've taught a couple real good principles today that I tried to incorporate, and when we look at the film, it may or may
that's
not
what's
have...
nice is you can refer back to the film.
Yeah, that's true.
I learned from the videos. I mean, YouTube has actually made me better for a couple reasons. One, because you get critics, and then sometimes they're right. Sometimes the critics are right, even if I'm not ready to hear it at the moment. I'm actually wise enough and smart enough to learn from that and go, okay, let me reword that. And by the way I've changed my videos, you barely see any bad comments now, don't you?
No,
there's always been more. Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but there's always been more good, more positive than there's been negative. But there was a lot more because of the way I would speak, the way I look. I mean, I can't change that. I mean, I'm just always going to be a goofy white guy. It's always that. I'm always going to be nerdy looking, and it's not going to change, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. I've been called Rick Astley. I've been called Napoleon Dynamite. That just makes me laugh. But when they start talking about this sucks or that sucks, I'm like, no, it doesn't. Or they're like, it might not be bad motives all the time. So we got to take a positive from it. I'm actually writing my book right now, my next book. I'm actually in the thing of saying, don't worry about the critics. That's the chapter I'm doing, and I just finished a section of what if they're right.
Oh.
And can we handle it? But at this point, we should be able to try to grow from it and not be crushed. But you have to consider the source sometimes when people are saying something.
Well, we're both passionate about what we do, and your experience, you're your worst critic.
Yeah.
So I don't care what anybody says about me.
And that's where you're finding too. You're your worst critic.
So I don't care what anybody else says outside.
We could be our worst enemies, and that's in that chapter too. I'm glad you said that. But yeah, we could be our worst critics, everything like that too, which you do a lot. Or you try to compare yourself with somebody else. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. I'm the only one you spar with right now. You can't compare yourself to me because I've been training a long, long time. And plus, even if you train as long as me, would you fight like me? Probably not.
I would like to be able to.
You have to find it to fight like you, not me. So with that said, if you haven't subscribed yet,
just do it.
Just do it. Subscribe. You know how we do it. Like, comment, share. And take these words of wisdom is don't worry about all the comments. A lot of times with social media, my wife brought this up. You get people texting, you're not talking to them. So we could actually misunderstand what they're saying because in our head, we hear it as a different tone of voice. Oh, they said that? Then we get automatically hot around the collar. First off, you might not even know that person, so why do you care that much what they said? That's the point we have to get to. So lighten up yourself. I know someone out there is going to be a smart aleck and leave a nasty comment probably. If you do, that's fine. I'll laugh, but don't swear in it. Because if you swear in it, I'll delete it. But if you want to just say something, that's fine. You can be sarcastic, messing around. I have a sense of humor. Do it. That's fine. Just leave a comment. I don't care. Just don't swear in the comment and don't be inappropriate. We have kids who watch this channel too, so don't be inappropriate. So like, comment, share. God bless.